Barukot habaot, ladies, and welcome to this amazing program of Jewish Women Unite. A week where we're going to journey into the realm of Malchut, and we're going to discover the secret of Malchut as well as the practical applications of Malchut in our life. We're going to learn what it means and what its true essence is. Where does Malchut lie? And how do we access it? How does it manifest itself? And how do we achieve it? What does it necessitate, ladies? And what does the attribute of Malchut yield in our life? And I have to say that I'm going to be taking a completely different route concerning this topic. Rather than delving into the mystical and lofty side of Malchut and every attribute of it, we're going to learn the practical side of Malchut. We're going to bring it down from Shamayim and into our mundane world so that we could access it, utilize it, and apply it into our life in a useful way. So I'll begin by saying that one of the 13 Ani Mamins that we recite every day is that we believe in the coming of Mashiach. Bechol yom achakelo, I will wait for him. Ve'af al pi sheitmamea, and even though he's delayed, but still, achakelo. I'm not allowed to lose hope. I still anticipate the arrival of the Mashiach. This is something that we pray for every single day. Chachamim tell us that a descendant of David HaMelech alav shalom will come and he's going to become the leader of the entire world. He's going to lead the process of kibbutz galuyot and bring everyone back to Eretz Yisrael. Just imagine that for a moment. He's going to be the collector of all the people in exile. The Torah HaKadosha predicts that there's going to come a time when the Jewish people are going to be redeemed. We're not certain when this is going to happen or what the details of it are. But our job is to believe that Mashiach will come and to accept the fact that he will one day, very soon, reveal himself. And it does feel that the idea of Mashiach is permeating the air because so many signs are pointing to his imminent arrival. You know, there was once a lady who asked me in one of the shiurim, if Mashiach didn't come in the previous generations where there were so many righteous people, so many tzaddikim, how will he ever come in this generation that's filled with so much competition and so much tumah and so much technology that's taking us away from the reality of spirituality? And I told her, precisely because the previous generations didn't have the nisyonot that this generation has, Mashiach will come dafka in this generation. There is no generation that has been tested and challenged like our generation. And since the tests of this generation are that much stronger, the reward will be that much greater. That being said, I want to understand where the strength and power of Mashiach, where his legacy originates. Mashiach comes from the world of Malchut. Chachamim tell us that the strength, power, and legacy of the Mashiach originated with Ruth HaMoaviyah aleh shalom and continued onward with David HaMelech alav shalom. So this week we're going to discuss the life of David HaMelech so that you could appreciate this man's character, his neshama, and his greatness. You're going to understand what Malchut really means and how you could achieve it in your life today. In order to grasp the essence of Malchut, I want you to understand who David was. Why HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose him not only to be the Melech BeYisrael, the leader, the king of Israel, but also the seed of Mashiach. I want you to reach a very high level of appreciation for this man so that the next time you open up a Sefer Tehillim, you'll not only be able to relate to those words, but you'll be able to understand why David HaMelech wrote them and what he was feeling when he did. You're going to be able to tap into the world of Malchut through David HaMelech, Be'ezat Hashem. So let's begin. We have a lot of work this coming week. We'll begin by saying that Ruth gave birth to Oved, who was the father of Yishai, and Yishai fathered David. David was one of 8 boys. Chachamim tell us that David was very well aware of Ruth's contribution to his neshama, because the Kadosh Baruch Hu revealed it to him. And we see that in Sefer Tehillim, in Perek Kuf Tet Zayin, where it says, Ani avdecha ben amatecha. I am your servant, the son of your maidservant. Chachamim explained that the maidservant here is referring to Ruth HaMoaviyah and all the spiritual qualities that she passed on to David HaMelech. We're taught that David drew strength to compose Sefer Tehillim from his great-grandmother Ruth, the mother of royalty, the mother of Malchut. Ruth was drowning in the depths of the abyss, and she managed to raise herself all the way up to the celestial spheres. She went from the depths of the earth to the realm of Shamayim. And David HaMelech's songs in Sefer Tehillim have the same power, because they speak to every single one of us in every situation that we may find ourselves in. The words in Sefer Tehillim speak to the person who sunk to the lowest depths, and they speak to the person who rose to heightened levels of ruchaniyut. That's the secret of Tehillim, and that, ladies, is the secret of Malchut. Now, what's important for us to know as we proceed with David HaMelech's life is that when Ruth was with Boaz, she conceived on that night, and Boaz died the very next morning. Could you believe this? You could imagine what people thought when that happened. Many people in that generation misinterpreted Boaz's sudden death to mean that HaKadosh Baruch Hu punished him for having taken Ruth as a wife. Many people even prayed. Listen to what they prayed. They said, we pray that no child should be born from this forbidden union. It's imagine. This is one of the reasons why David's legitimacy as a Jew was always the subject of discussion as the generations progressed. You know what kind of shame David HaMelech had to bear? He sings the most heart-wrenching words in Sefer Tehillim, where he says, Muzar hayiti le'echai, v'nochri livnei imi. I was a stranger to my brothers and an alien to the sons of my mother. The word muzar in this pasuk refers to how his family dealt with him. And Chachamim tell us that this pasuk has to be understood literally, and it expresses the great pain and the anguish that a person could feel deep inside of him. Imagine you grow up with brothers and sisters and you're living with them under the same roof. Imagine that all your siblings are close to each other. They have a warm and loving relationship with one another, except with you. Imagine that. You're considered the stranger in the house. Not only are you like a stranger to them, but if a real stranger walked into the house, they treat him with respect and with tolerance, which is something they don't treat you with. You, they treat with disrespect and even with disgust. But you're not a stranger. You're their own flesh and blood whom they've estranged. David became a thorn in his brother's side. It came to a point where the brothers couldn't handle his presence anymore. Ladies, could there be a greater anguish than this? What did David HaMelech do to deserve this kind of humiliating resentment? Well, first of all, during that time in David HaMelech's life, the Sanhedrin sat in judgment as to whether David was actually permitted to enter the Kahal Hashem or not, because he descended from Ruth HaMoaviyah. Chachamim tell us that David became the talk of the town. Those who used to sit in the marketplace drinking wine, they used to compose all kinds of jingles of ridicule Every time he passed by, they'd make fun of him. That's the kind of pain that David endured, and much more. We're going to learn soon. As a matter of fact, when Shmuel HaNavi, alav shalom, came to Yishai's dwelling place in order to anoint the next king of Israel, Yishai brought out all of his 7 sons except for David, who was the 8th son. Imagine the scene, ladies. Shmuel comes to the house and informs Yishai that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has chosen from among his sons the next Melech BeYisrael. And he'd like to see all his sons in order to determine who is the one that HaKadosh Baruch Hu selected for this prestigious task. Chachamim tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not inform Shmuel as to which of Yishai's sons would be anointed. So even Shmuel's vision was blurred in this regard. So now imagine Yishai lining up all his sons except for David. How could a father forget he has another son? How could the siblings forget that there's another brother who hasn't been summoned? Nobody remembered David. It wasn't that he was a mere afterthought. It was as if he didn't exist at all. What kind of existence do you think this was for David? What kind of pain do you think he must have felt? The answer to these questions actually leads to the realization of why he was chosen by HaKadosh Baruch Hu and why he merited to inherit the Malchut forever. I want you to tune in tomorrow, Be'ezrat Hashem, as we continue part 2 of our lesson on Malchut and learn more about David HaMelech.